Hey everybody, Justin Watch Movies here with my review for the Darjeeling Limited, which is a Wes Anderson film. And of course, this is part of my Wes Anderson series, where leading up to Isle of Dogs, I'm going to be reviewing a Wes Anderson movie every week up until that movie. We had some awesome YouTubers joining my channel to talk about previous Wes Anderson films, but we're here today to talk about the 2017 Wes Anderson movie with The Real Talk. If you are already not subscribed to The Real Talk's channel after this video, go over to his channel, make sure to subscribe, tell him Justin Watch Movies sent you. This guy is awesome. So before I give my thoughts on the Darjeeling Limited, The Real Talk is going to take it away first and share his thoughts. So, The Real Talk, what'd you think about this movie?
What's going on, everyone? John here from The Real Talk on Justin's channel. And Justin, thank you so much, man, for including me in this Wes Anderson series you have going on leading up to Isle of Dogs, and actually just a few weeks. So honored to be here, man. So everyone, like Justin said, we're going to be talking about Wes Anderson's 2007 film, The Darjeeling Limited, starring Owen Wilson, Adrien Brody, and Jason Schwartzman, which he actually helped write the script as well. So real quick, before we get to my full thoughts and review on the film, my experience with Wes Anderson, I feel like personally he's one of those directors that is kind of like a Quentin Tarantino or Christopher Nolan, that every time he has a film coming out, a new film coming out, us film fans like Justin, we do like a series leading up to his newest film. I think he's very creative. He has his own unique style. And as far as his filmography, I had seen a few movies of his before, but this one I didn't see. So it was kind of cool to see that it was in my watch list and kind of bumped up for this review. I actually just saw it for this review. So yeah, with that being said, let's get into my review. So as far as negatives to this movie, I kind of don't really have any. This film is just very straightforward. It's really simple. And one of my friends was actually watching it with me a bit, and I agree with him. It's kind of, this movie is very surface level, that, you know, there's a lot of films that kind of have a lot going on under them. You can just watch it, but then go revisit it and learn a lot of new things, a lot of hidden messages, a lot of themes and kind of things that it's trying to tell the audience, and kind of, you know, okay, this is a lesson learned or something. But this is actually very straightforward. The whole film is kind of explained by Owen Wilson's character in like kind of the first few scenes with his brothers. And this movie is about three brothers in India kind of going on this spiritual journey or something like that. And, you know, they have a very dysfunctional family, and it's kind of played out. You kind of little things are revealed as the film goes on. And to be honest, guys, like I said, Wes Anderson does a great job in kind of exploring each of these kind of characters and having them, okay, this character is going through this brother actually is going through this, and how they all kind of relate, how they have their issues. And, you know, Owen Wilson's character is kind of, you know, controlling, kind of wants everything his way, and kind of telling the brothers, okay, don't do this anymore, kind of consult with us and stuff. So it's very, this film explores the relationship between these brothers and how they kind of, you know, they want to be able to bond and stuff like that, but they kind of have to communicate a little, like have that communication between each other, you know, because I don't think they have that. And obviously later on in the film, it's kind of explained why with the whole mother situation, and actually they explore a little bit about their father's funeral and getting to there and stuff like that. So again, I just can't really think about anything negative. And let's get into my positives. I kind of was already touching a few points on my positives. I have to talk about Wes Anderson. This is like the definition of a Wes Anderson film. Obviously, his style is very present in this film, and his unique choices in cinematography, his camera shots and movements, and also just the color. I really love that. For example, like Grand Budapest, just the colors are so vibrant and just pop out of you, create this atmosphere for the movie. And another thing that does that is the score as well. The music in this is beautiful and kind of captures that, you know, life in India and stuff like that. So yeah, let's get on to the characters and the acting. The acting, I think, is very solid from all three actors. Is probably one of the best that I've seen Owen Wilson in. I know that he's been in some other ones that, you know, his acting is highly praised, but for me at least, this is one of his top performances that I've seen. And, you know, Adrien Brody does a good job. Jason Schwartzman as well. And like I said, Wes Anderson does a good job in kind of giving each of these characters certain traits, and they portray that really well in this. So yeah, I don't really know what else to say about this movie other than that it's great. Like I said, I love the cinematography, Wes's style in kind of showing you stuff, and kind of the way he moves the camera. It really makes for his own style, and kind of unique, like I said. And the characters, the acting is solid in this. The score, like I said, it kind of is really beautiful in moments, kind of making you feel like these characters are really in India. And actually, I think they did film in India, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, I don't want to say too much, go really deep in the film. I know Justin has his thoughts and review coming up as well. So those are just my quick initial thoughts on the film and kind of what I think really pop out and sort of the negatives. Like I said, I don't really have any. But if I was to score this film, I think I'd give the Darjeeling Limited, I think I have to give it an 8.5 out of 10. I really, really like this movie. I want to see it again to kind of catch things that I didn't before. Like I said, I kind of saw this with my friend in the beginning. He was pointing out little things that are, they go throughout the film, and I kind of want to see if I can catch anything else. So again, Justin, thank you so much for including me in this series. I really like Wes as a director, so I was really honored to be part of this one in specific. So to Justin's viewers, if you guys like what you saw here, I do have my own channel where I review movies and all that sort of stuff. So you guys can find me on YouTube at The Real Talk. I should be the first one that pops up. And if you guys want to follow me outside of YouTube, you guys can at The Real Talk, talk with 2Ks on Instagram and Twitter. Also, you guys can find me on Stardust doing early reactions and my first quick little initial thoughts on films and TV as well. So until next time, I'll see you at the movies. And Justin, back to you.
Thank you for joining my channel. I can't wait to do more collabs in the future. For me, The Darjeeling Limited is a film I haven't watched in its entirety. I actually remember the one time I did attempt to watch this movie. It was when I was in college, and I was a babysitter at that time, and I went over to the child's house at like 3 in the morning, and I was like, I'm just gonna stay up and watch movies while they're sleeping, and I popped in The Darjeeling Limited, and I instantly fell asleep. So I have not watched it since then, but I bought the Criterion Collection in preparation for this review, and I wanted to have Wes Anderson movies on Blu-ray, and I watched it, and it is a very different movie than his previous 2 outings, The Royal Tenenbaums and The Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou. You have some of his quirks, like panning really quick to connect scenes or having his zoomed in moments, but I felt like he was trying something a little different when making The Darjeeling Limited. It's not as clean cut as previous Wes Anderson films, and him attempting to maybe do something a little different was a breath of fresh air. I love his quirkiness in all his movies, but this movie just felt a little different, and I really did appreciate that. I loved how Wes Anderson is able to do something a little differently, even if it's not completely different, and still kind of make it work. This movie reminds me a lot of The Royal Tenenbaums. It takes a family and them wanting to try to reconnect, and there's a lot of issues going on amongst this family. The Royal Tenenbaums was a little better in my opinion, but The Darjeeling Limited, its plot was a little thin compared to The Royal Tenenbaums. There wasn't much meat to the story. It's just about these 3 brothers that want to kind of connect once again, and they're on the train, The Darjeeling Limited, and they're just exploring India and trying to connect in a spiritual level, and then eventually they want to meet their mom again. There's not much to the story that I found to be interesting. What I did love about this movie, though, is the actors involved in here and how they really carried this film. The 3 brothers are played by Owen Wilson, Jason Schwartzman, and Adrien Brody, and Owen Wilson is definitely the glue to this trio. He's definitely the standout. He's the one that brings them all together. He's the one that wants to go on this spiritual journey. He wants to reconnect with his brothers and eventually meet up with his mom again. Adrien Brody and Jason Schwartzman give a very quiet performance. They all have things that they're dealing with within themselves, but Owen Wilson's the outspoken one, the one that's trying to have the itinerary that's run according to plan, and he's the one that just brings everybody together, and he really holds this movie together. He is the main, I would say, the main star of this movie, and he does a great job in here playing someone that's missing his brothers, and he definitely does a great job at that. From Adrien Brody to Jason Schwartzman to even Bill Murray in a few scenes is really good. Like I said, this movie has kind of a weak plot going for it. It's not something that really draws people in, but you have to be a Wes Anderson fan to actually go and see this movie first. But it's still a beautiful film. A lot of great scenery in India. The train moments on the train are really well edited as well. I enjoyed watching this movie. It's a lot of fun. There's a lot of great moments between these brothers. and you felt like they were brothers at one point, and they've kind of fell apart throughout the years, and I love watching them get to know each other again and really connect. A couple of them really hide secrets from others, but them really putting their trust into each other is a great journey in that movie. I really loved watching them grow from people that you felt like they really didn't know each other in the beginning, and the progression of them really trusting each other and having that spiritual journey that Owen Wilson wanted. It was a great progression. I love the development for the trio of brothers. It was awesome. Overall, it's a really good Wes Anderson film. Not the best told story, but some of the aspects I really do love. I love the characters. I love the acting. I love how it is edited. It felt different than a Wes Anderson film. It didn't feel as clean, or it didn't feel as tightly edited as he does in previous movies. I felt like he was trying to do something different with this movie, and he succeeded. It was a good time. I'm gonna go ahead and give the Darjeeling Limited a B+. Thank you, The Real Talk, for joining me on my channel to talk about Wes Anderson's The Darjeeling Limited leading up to the Isle of Dogs. Next week, we will be talking about Fantastic Mr. Fox with Rachel Wagner. I can't wait to bring her on my channel to talk about Fantastic Mr. Fox. Then the week after that, we'll have Moonrise Kingdom with Cody Curtis, and I won't be reviewing the Grand Budapest Hotel because I've already reviewed that in the past. But I'm excited to talk about Isle of Dogs in the next coming weeks and rank all Wes Anderson films from worst to best. You guys are the best as always. Make sure to go over to the Real Talks channel, subscribe to him, hit the bell notification like you would do for me. This guy is awesome. Make sure to show him some love. You guys are the best as always. This is Just Watch Movies, and you guys stay classy, YouTube.